How you doing, Scotty Bear? Back with another video. This video about questions about the car, my decision to sell the car, my snap decision to sell the car. Many of you feel like I would have been better off with the car. The $700 to fix the car wasn't that much money. Sorry. Yes, all of these are mostly true. I got incredible reliability out of that car, but it had some notable problems. It definitely exceeded my expectations as far as how far it was able to go. But however, it didn't make it, 35 days into the journey. I thought about taking the car due south. I even learned more about that procedure. Like I would have had to put up a bond, if you will, for importing the car. And then what happens is it goes against my visa and I'm responsible for taking the car out of the country. Very interesting thing I stumbled over about the car. Also, I kind of thought, I could take it into Baja further. That trip right there, if you remember back in some of the other videos that I did where I talked about getting the car fixed, I asked him, I said, what do you think? Do you think the car's in good condition and maybe able to make that drive into South Baja? He goes, that is one long drive. And looking on it from the map, I mean, really it would be at least the length of California from just preliminary to give you an idea of how big it would be. I just frankly was not sure if the car would make it. However, it still continued to be pretty reliable even up to the end. Ideally, the car broke in the Airbnb, where I parked the car at night. Ideally, the lady, the host of the Airbnb, was able to sell the car in 40 minutes. So all of that really came into play and was very helpful. The mechanic called me back. I didn't, read his message per se, but like I said, the 700 was reasonable. It was more of the what next factor. The $480 that I took for the car, I felt like was very reasonable for both sides. I'd like to say also that, the car, I really feel like was in heavy decline pretty quickly. So there's that. Definitely wasn't going to make it another stretch, as, the check engine light had been coming on and off and, really giving me some scares there, as I used it about 2.5 years. So, this is probably the best case scenario. I considered selling it at the beginning of this situation, and the reason why I drove it is I figured the value of driving it would be greater than what I could get out of selling it and, going on my journey that way. But I may have been in real trouble if I took the car south and then the car was broken down and I was forced to fix it to get it out. That would have been a very interesting detail to stumble over. I do have further ideas. However, things kind of changed, like re-renting an Airbnb, so on and so forth, the holidays. So I constantly get presented with these issues and problems. And this happens in many situations, like right now, it would be helpful to get my mail. The other problem that presents itself frequently is phone calls. However, with Telcel, I could literally call the United States. Now, that hasn't backfired on me any, because it really seems like in 2022, at least the barrier is a lot lower for that international call to the United States. Telcel, of course, backed by the, hugely wealthy, of course, I'm going to blow his name, but Carlos is his name. But calling United States is certainly easy. Plus, the internet and service I get is pretty good too. However, it would be a lot better if I actually had monthly service, and just like in the United States, go into a contract. It'll be interesting how I solve these little problems like the mail and phone service and stuff as I go along. Really the best way to go about phone service in another country is take their SIM from all the, samples that I have, everything from Thailand, Vietnam, the Philippines, all take their SIM when you get into the country. Make sure you have an unlocked phone when you're traveling and use their SIM. And actually, another fun fact is most, very recent phones have eSIMs too, so you can carry it in, in tandem with your home service. It is Wednesday night, just about 48 hours to New Year's. I'm excited. I finally feel some holiday spirit. Something new to my videos. If you don't know, there's 2 links. And those go to Tijuana Stories and Ensenada Stories. Thanks again for watching. I will see you soon.